Hello, everybody. So I'm Rei Goffer. I'm one of the co-founders and chief strategy officer of Tomorrow.io, and I'm really excited to welcome you to our webinar. So today we'll talk about Beyond the Data Gaps Continuous Global Sensing with Tomorrow.io Microwave Sounder Constellation. Quickly, just introducing the speakers. So as I said, I'm Rei Goffer. With me today, we will have Joe Munchak, who is our VP of Mission Science, Ryan Honeyegger, who's our team lead of data simulation, Cesar Benetti, who is our solution engineer, and Ari Davidov, who is the director of international government development. We're very excited to talk with you all today and share with you some of the latest and greatest updates from our constellation development. What you'll walk away with today are 5 things. Number 1 is you'll understand the vision and the introduction to the constellation, which I'll cover in the next few slides. And from there, we'll dive deeper into the satellite technology by Joe Munchak, talk about the data products and validation with Ryan Honeyegger, talk about access and partnership models with Cesar, and second part of that with Ari. All right, so I guess to start with, it's always important to zoom out and understand why commercial microwave sounders matter now. The number 1 reason is that, microwave sounders really have been the backbone of national weather forecasting systems for many decades now, and they provide the majority of the data that feeds into numerical weather prediction models all around the globe. However, the handful of microwave sounders that we have on orbit today all belong to, other than those from Tomorrow.io, all belong to government agencies, and many of them are aging or have already reached their end of life period. And so in the next, or actually over the past year and then the next few years, we're expecting to see quite a few of these microwave sounders going basically offline and reaching their end of life. And there aren't that many new ones being built, definitely not at the pace of that we're losing the old ones. And so we have this data gap that is actually going to grow. At the same time, we have a really severe gap in ground-based infrastructure, namely radars. And we have roughly 5 billion people around the world today who live outside of radar coverage or at least reliable ground-based weather radar coverage. Now, when we think about microwave sounders, traditionally we don't think about them as a radar replacement or radar supplement, but that is mostly because the revisit rate that we achieved up until now with microwave sounders from orbit was too low to provide any useful information in the context of precipitation analysis in real time or for nowcasting purposes. However, with our constellation, that is definitely changing because we've launched so many of those, and as you'll see in the next presentations, that we're now able to achieve sub-hourly revisit rate, which makes our data very useful and very relevant also in the context of real-time precipitation data and nowcasting products. And then last but not least is the kind of growing demand from the weather models for more data. We see AI weather-based models coming in very rapidly. And those models, and also the numerical weather prediction models, the traditional ones, can feed and actually need much more data in order to prevail and in order to do better. And so we are now providing them with this food, with this weapon they can use to become much better. So what is our constellation at a high level? You can see kind of a cool animation here. This is showing both our radars and our sounders. Today, the focus will be on the sounders, but we provide full atmospheric scanning with cloud penetrating capabilities. The frequencies we operate at are actually designed to penetrate through clouds and see all the way to the surface. They're purpose-built for weather, of course. These are not imaging satellites or anything like that. They are providing global coverage, so they have orbits that essentially see the entire globe, and with very high revisit rate and low latency, meaning that we see every point on Earth roughly within every 1 hour, and then we drop the data from our satellites to the ground shortly thereafter, within minutes. And all of this is designed to help us provide actionable impacts. And so this is really the data that global models need. If you're an agency running a local numerical prediction models or any type of other model, flood prediction models, whatnot, this is really the missing piece to make your models much more capable, much more accurate, much more successful. And the beauty is that it's already there. There is no need to launch new satellites or invest material amounts in getting this infrastructure built. We have already done it. And today, and this is really a cool statistic to see, roughly 70% of, at any given point in time, 70% of the sounding of the most recent soundings from Earth come from Tomorrow constellation. So this is a pretty impressive way to show how much more data we're adding to the global ecosystem of data. And zooming out on the Tomorrow offering, we start with data, but of course we don't end there. This is really just the beginning. We provide AI-powered weather modeling system and agentic AI business intelligence. We will not talk much about these two components today, but of course, if you're interested to learn about them, we welcome you to talk with us and get much more into the details about those as well. And I will wrap with this really cool animation, which is showing roughly 2 days of data collected from our constellation in the recent few weeks. And you can see how from the start, within really short time, we get full coverage of the entire Earth. And then you can see all these different weather systems moving. You can see the tropical cyclone here next to Guam, and you can see the cold front in the northern US. And all of this is solely from our constellation. So this is an incredible depiction of the quantity and quality of data that we're capturing. So with that, I'm again very excited to have you join us in this webinar, and I welcome you to participate, ask questions, and engage with us. Thank you so much.